Hi everyone, this is Kayla and it is my client profile and recommendation report. I had the opportunity to interview two different individuals who are both currently in the higher education system. So in all honesty, my report's going to be somewhat vague in order to respect their confidentiality and privacy as you may know them. So throughout my report and in this presentation, I will refer to client A and client B. Again, just to respect their privacy as they are local Bellingham residents in the higher education system. So client A, she's currently a clerical assistant working in a frontline service role. Her education is an associate's degree as an administrative assistant, so she is within the industry she went to school for, unlike most of us. And her career goal, or kind of what she's looking at right now, is to advance, to continue. She's taking classes right now to kind of work towards that bachelor's degree, but doesn't have a real idea on what advancement might look like for her. A unique situation with client A, she was given an opportunity to go through the education route. She currently has some criminal history background issues that prevented her from moving forward for a while. So about 5 years ago, she was facing a jail time, and the judge saw something in her. He really wanted to go the rehabilitation route instead of the jail time route and offered her a chance to enroll at Bellingham Technical College. And her choice was enroll at BTC and earn your degree and prove yourself, or go to jail for the next 3 years and you'll have to prove yourself that way. So she thankfully chose the educational route and was able to move forward. So client B is currently a program manager within a community college setting. She specifically works with dual enrollment population, so Running Start, CTE, dual credit, college in the high school, and whatnot. So her bachelor's degree is in psychology. She is also working on completing her master's in education. And kind of her goal, or what we were looking at, was really to find something she feels passionate and excited about. She's kind of having questions right now. Is this the right field or industry for her? Should she switch it up before she feels like she's trapped in it, kind of thing? Client B was raised in a low-income home, and she really has been working and supporting herself and her family since she was 15. She said she can remember her mom always having to work 3 jobs. She took care of the kids, and then as soon as it was legal for her to start working, she went and got a job herself. So it was really interesting to hear from her as a first-generation college student how she was able to navigate the college system, and she enrolled in Running Start because high school wasn't working for her, and so she enrolled in Running Start her junior year and found a mentor there who really helped her and got her associate's degree by the time she graduated high school, was able to apply for financial aid and go to Western using grants and scholarships, not having to pay out of pocket. And she also worked still while going to school full time, all 4 years, worked full time at Best Buy as well. So she's really been a determined individual and now is just kind of looking for her next move, I would say. So both clients, I used the same assessments to kind of see how they compared. So I used Hall & Code, specifically Bellingham Technical College's link to it because they are both employees there. I thought that would be interesting for them to take a look at it. Then I did use the SIGI 3 from Western's Career Services office. We did the fast track one. It only takes about 5 minutes to complete. That way just being respectful of their time. We took the Career Bridge assessment, which looks at kind of your interest in different occupations and then gives you a score in that occupation cluster. And then we did Myers-Briggs. So for the Holland codes, they're actually very similar in all of them, but in the Holland codes, client A was an SEC and client B was an ECS. So same letters, just mixed up. For SIGI 3, it lists a variety of different things, but in here we talked mostly about the values, so I posted their top 3 values. For client A, it was high income, prestige, and variety. And for client B, it was security, leisure, and independence. And then in Career Bridge, the top cluster occupation for client A was human services, and the top cluster for client B was education and training. And then for Myers-Briggs, the website I used kind of named the different personality types, so I liked that. So for client A, it was the giver, which is an ENFJ. And then for client B, it was the commander, which is an ENTJ. So client A and I, we used Career Bridge mainly when we were looking at the pathways and the assessments. So the human services cluster shocked her. I don't think she's ever thought of this industry or pathway before. She associated it with only like counselors and doctors and just high level education, and didn't realize it was something that A, she could strive for, or B, could enter on an associate's degree or even a certificate. So that was exciting. And then when we looked into the human services, specifically the substance abuse and behavioral disorder counselor was kind of calling her attention, which I thought was super exciting to be able to connect her background and her history with a potential job that she can give back to students or clients who might be in the same position as her in the past. It was a great connection. With this industry, however, we did go back to the SIGI 3 value, which her highest value was high income. And we had a little conversation around that, and something she said is, I just never want to have to worry about money. I don't want to have to worry if my bills are going to get paid or if my car is going to get impounded. And we kind of had that conversation and decided her value was more about security than necessarily a high luxury income. So with that, we kind of felt that her drive to serve and help others outweighed the income, and that the substance abuse behavioral counselor or other positions in human services, while they might not be the highest paying, would still be a good fit and provide her security. So we looked a little further into the substance abuse counselor, and Career Bridge does this really great link that shows you the different schools in Washington that offer certificates, associate degrees, bachelor's degrees, master's degrees within that field. And we found that both Whatcom Community College and Skagit Valley College have associate degrees or certificates in it. And since she's currently just taking random classes that might count as general education requirements for the universities, she can now have a better focus and maybe look back at either getting a certificate or an associate degree, which can help her transfer, or getting the general classes, which will go into a bachelor's degree option for her. So client B kept saying that she thinks she needs a career change and needs a new field and just kind of wants to start from scratch. She made a comment that she likes her job and makes pretty good money, so she should just be happy and stop complaining, which we laughed about, but it actually was a big piece of what we ended up talking about. She has the mindset, like I said, that she's unhappy at work or not enjoying her job because she's in the wrong field. but all of the assessments and the conversations we had led to education and training, and I mean, as specific as the role that she was doing, post-secondary administrator. So I did ask her, what do you not like about your current position? And she mentioned that there's like a lack of autonomy. She doesn't feel secure in her position. There's been extreme changes in the company, and she doesn't feel valued. And then I asked her what she does like about her position, which she listed working one-on-one with students, supporting and teaching, reporting and legislative work, and then presenting and public speaking. So we kind of just had a small conversation that it may not be the field that is causing the unhappiness, but maybe the environment she's in. But because she did have such a strong desire to look at other options, we definitely explored those. So her second highest cluster was business management and administration. And specifically in that, she was really drawn to the human resources manager. And to find occupations that worked well with her, I actually used the ONET online and put in her Holland code of ECS, and human resource specialist and manager appeared. And so it appeared there and in the career bridge, and so we explored that some more. One of the things we were finding out is that it's often a bachelor's degree program, which she already has, and then those who don't have bachelor's might have master's. There's a very small percentage who might have a post-bac or something else. And so that's pretty good news for her. While it's not necessarily in human resources or business, having the bachelor's degree and the master's degree will definitely give her points. But because she doesn't have that experience, it might be hard to find a job that will give her the security she's used to, which was a high value for her. So we talked about looking at different certificate options that we found they could be completed in between like 6 and 9 months after her master's is completed, to give her that bonus point so she doesn't have to go in directly at entry level. Some schools like UW offer actually prep courses specific for completing the exam to get the HR credentials. So she's possibly thinking of exploring that route now. I had a really awesome time working with these clients and actually coming to some conclusions and ideas. It was, when I started, I felt very unsure and was like, I'm not a professional, I don't know what I'm doing, but it was great to work it through with them and actually see their excitement at the end of it. It was also just very useful to see how great some of our resources are, like Career Bridge and ONET Online. And I made a point to go through those with the client so they could continue doing that research on their own. So thanks for listening.